or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Shot 17. Black Ultra.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
6 yards to go.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Tua. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. DeForest Buckner, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Slide through.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Watch out now. 50 series.
On the run, here's Anthony McFarland. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The Dolphins at 12-2 now on the year. They've been flawless these last couple months, winners of 9 in a row.
And let's give them a ton of credit, because in a league that's built on any given Sunday, any team can win. To run off this kind of a streak, this kind of a number, that's pretty darn impressive.
They go back to the ground, this time Mostert. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. And that will be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Sanders' kick is good. And the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. Well, given where they started that opening drive, CD, I think to get 3 out of it, probably a pretty good start that they'll take.
I think you're exactly right about that, because they just shook off the effects of the kickoff in field position and took the ball and moved it downfield. Didn't pay off with a touchdown, but that drive, That was really nice for them, and they did come away with 3 points.
At their own 24-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. 52 blaster.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So the hand got inside the face mask that time. Looked like a pretty easy call.
And it was, and we saw this in their loss last week. Penalties at inopportune times that led to their demise.
So a big penalty there on the face mask leads to 1st and 10. A give for Taylor running right side. Taken down at the 42. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always said, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And got his man complete. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play there for Indy. 41 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively. And then they got hit with that big play.
On the double.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run once more with Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter.
Let's go.
And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop them on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well. 2nd down, here's Mostert again.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace it.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11.
Black shot. Plastic, 6. Hey, red.
Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 11 now.
Trail green. Ready?
Tua going to throw. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. Here's Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Back to the running game with Mostert. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
On 2nd and 12, Tua. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead grows to 10-0. The touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Again, it's Taylor. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Channing Tindall.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. After the turnover, it's Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
That's to Waddle on the quick slant. And the Dolphins are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Jalen Waddle, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes our score 17-0. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
This defense is really floating around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
On play action, they'll throw. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And for a while when this play's open, all the talk was about punts hitting the Giants scoreboard here in Arlington. I don't think we ever heard about a pass hitting the scoreboard, but that's probably about as close as you're going to get. That one was way up there.
And to put a bow on it, Next Gen Stats saying that traveled an even 66 yards in the air. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He'll drop to throw. And that's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the kick is good. He needed a little help there from the crossbar, but the carom goes his way. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So a favorable bounce that time, to say the least, and he's able to convert the field goal there from long distance.
Yeah, the guys behind the end zone didn't need to hike the net up for this one. That thing was a dying quail, but he finds a way to boink it off the crossbar and make it drop through.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Right. 6, 7.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Tua now on first down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. On first down, Tagovailoa. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's going to be caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Sanders' kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I want that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Down.
They'll throw now on the final play. And he'll air this one deep for Anderson. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Finding space at the 40. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They take over here following the interception. That's the good news. The tough spot is the spot that they're in. That's inside the 5 in the shadow of their own goalpost here. 1st and 10. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Tua. That one complete to Hill. Tua to Tyreek for the Miami 1st. McFarland running out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Now a short one to Gesicki.
Ran a perfect defense in this situation. Would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Tua looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. A pair of 1st downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Here's a handoff to Mostert running left. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Hey, confused.
From midfield, here's Tua. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Go. Blue strike.
From the gun, it's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that in. And now it's blocked. The Colts have it. But he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule. And there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt. And the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. And now here's another interception. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
On 1st down, they go with Mostert again to about the 26 here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Mostert.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On third down, here's McFarland. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 20-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Right. 22 needle. Ready.
From the gun, this will be McFarland. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
Here we go.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. And they'll get this on the screen to Mostert. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, in boxing, they throw in the towel. In this case, you just kind of wave the white flag, and you think to yourself, if he could just get past that initial wave, he's got a chance to get free. But that screen, it was going nowhere from the start. It forces a 4th down.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Okay, ready?
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a 2nd and 7. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Channing Tindall drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this returnable for Hill. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of Mostert hit, and he drops the ball. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. Almost like it's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On second down, Mostert. And he's got some space here. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 70 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2 yards the loss, second and 12. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it, and they do so right there.
Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To the right side, this is Taylor. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be fourth down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Now Hill to return it. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over. On the NFL scoreboard, fourth quarter now at Soldier Field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. And they take a knee.
Ready.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought,